Hey, welcome to the Soul Pod. This is Stacy. Welcome back. Man, we got a good one today. If you've ever tried to talk yourself out of doing something that you wanted to do because you think you're too old or that ship has sailed or it's just too late, well, this video is for you. We're going to flip the script on this thing. Let's do it. In 1932, an author named Laura Ingalls Wilder, who had done some writing for newsletters and papers under pen names in the past, but had never really gone big, decided she wanted to write a novel. And she wrote a book called Little House in the Big Woods. It became a massive success. She was 65. This is a story we tell ourselves, and some of us do this, in our 20s or 30s, or some of us older, but definitely past the age of 45 or 50, we start believing that we can't change. Now, we all have different excuses for this, like the train has left the station, my friends have achieved all these things, it's far too late for me to try, it's too late to go to college, whatever the excuse is. But the big one we get ourselves when we get older, the big one we get ourselves with is the one where we say, oh, well, like my brain is as it's going to be. After a certain age, we're set in our ways, and that's that. It turns out the whole idea that our brains stop developing and we can't expand anymore, turns out that's a lie. There's this thing called neuroplasticity. And what it is your ability to bring in new information, learn new tasks, learn new skills, learn new things, and have your brain actually adapt and change and become stronger. Turns out it's never too late to learn, as long as you're willing to do the work. So that begs the question, why don't we? The number one reason most of us don't go for it, don't decide to try something new later in life, like Laura Ingalls Wilder, is fear. It turns out that fear is the number one reason. It's stories we tell ourselves. It's fear that I might fail, fear that people might judge me, whatever it is. Every different kind of nuance of fear you might imagine, but it's that story you tell yourself about why you can't do the thing. But as soon as you recognize that fear is there, as soon as you see it and call its bluff, you can push it over and go right through it. Because it's not really there. It's just this illusion you've created in your mind of a wall that exists that's stopping you. Laura Ingalls Wilder had something really interesting to say about this. She said, all the experiences of the past are merely stepping stones to the future, no matter how hard the path. Think about that. Everything's just stepping stones to the future. What she's talking about, without even knowing it, is neuroplasticity. That ability for our brains to change and evolve and for us to continue to move forward. She's also talking about life experiences. Everything you learn, you add to your toolbox until you get to the point where you can do great things. What she did was she was a small-time writer, writing under a pen name, probably because she was uncomfortable writing under her own name. And eventually, when she went to swing for the fences and go for it, she started writing under her own name. But what she brought along with her was not just the will and the drive and the desire to do it. She stepped through some fear. And she took all the things she had learned along the way, writing those short stories, and applied them to writing novels. So it's that toolkit you bring with you, plus stepping through fear. That combination, apparently, looks to be the thing that you use to get from here to there. We've looked at sort of the scientific part of this, that neuroplasticity is a thing, and it continues on. So we look at that. There's also a spiritual aspect to this as well, as it turns out. The spiritual part of this, the spiritual aspect of this is, it's really a matter of transcending your limits through faith, having the faith to believe that you can do whatever you want to. Now, you don't necessarily have to aim for a particular outcome. I doubt Laura Ingalls Wilder told herself, wow, you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm going to sell 60 million books. I doubt she thought that for a second. But you know what? That's what she did. What she did was she did the thing she wanted to do, and she did it on a bigger scale, on a higher scale. At the age of 65, she went for it with faith, right? It's that faith thing. You're like, I'm going to do this thing because I believe in myself enough to give it a shot. I'm going to try it. I'm going to, go all in fearlessly, and whatever happens, happens. So what happens? Well, what happened with her was she sold a ton of books. A TV series was made. I think two TV series were made from her books later, long after she was gone. She became an icon in the literary world, someone that authors looked up to for decades and decades and still look up to. Two examples of authors that later cited her as being massive influences in their life and their writing career were Judy Blume and Beverly Cleary. These two women wrote amazing books. Beverly Cleary wrote the Ramona series. She started writing the Ramona series in her 50s. Her 50s. So she also started late. Judy Blume was highly impressed with what she had read in Wilder's books, and she said that what really mattered to her was the way that Wilder wrote books to and about young girls without talking down to them. And so that's exactly what she did. Now this is the fun part. Laura Ingalls Wilder sold over 60 million books, and that's even after she was gone. So she sold an awful lot of books when she was alive, but an awful lot afterward. Between Judy Blume and Beverly Cleary, the two of them, they've sold currently 183 million books. Why do I mention this? It's not because it's about money or it's about that level of success. It's a measure, though, of the effect that Laura Ingalls Wilder had on two women she probably never met. These women looked up to somebody who did something that inspired them. Why did they look up to her? Because she went for it. And she did something impressive. And it made them think, hey, if she can do it at 65, if she can do it as a woman, why can't we? And they did. They went for it. So I bring this up because we all need someone to look up to. We all need something to look at that we can go, that's inspiring. This is one of so many stories. I could do a video on these stories every day for probably a year. There are so many cool stories I found when I started thinking about this topic of people who started late and have just done amazing things. People and many people that aren't that well known. I mean, there's Samuel L. Jackson didn't get his first big role until his mid 40s. He was just plugging away at it, doing what he loved, and now he's an internationally famous actor. Huge, right? There are so many stories like this. Grandma Moses, she's a woman who became a very famous American painter who painted folk art. And she did it because in her 90s, it was her late 80s or early 90s, her doctor said her arthritis would no longer allow her to crochet. So she couldn't crochet anymore. So she's like, well, what else can I do? And so it was her late 70s. She started painting. And she ended up painting hundreds of the most amazing paintings now, which are in some of the most amazing museums. And she's incredibly well known, highly respected artist. Why? Because she didn't know she shouldn't. She decided to just do it. She believed in herself. She had the faith to do it. And no one had told her yet that her brain was too atrophied to try. No one had sold her the lie. So has someone sold you the lie? Has someone sold you the lie? Have you bought the lie? Am I maybe breaking through this where you're starting to understand that if you believe that you can't do it because, you're too old, your brain doesn't work that way anymore, it's atrophied, it's all set in stone and all that nonsense? Or is it maybe just some other fear, some other thing you've sold yourself or someone else has sold you that you're believing is a good reason to keep you from moving forward? So how do we move forward? How do we make the shift? There's a lot of ways to do it. Now, if you're not ready to start big and just go for it, this is one thing you can remember. To start, just to test yourself. Learn something new. Try something that makes you uncomfortable. Why not? Give it a shot. No one even has to know if you don't want. In my mid-50s, I decided to learn an instrument because I had a story in my mind that I'm not musical because I took a band class in high school and didn't do well. I was like, well, I'm clearly not a musical guy. I can't play the trumpet. And so I wanted to test that. So what did I do? I did some research and I bought a ukulele. Start somewhere. Ukulele apparently is an easier instrument to learn, so I gave it a shot. Within 3 months, I was writing songs. Everything I learned online, YouTube videos. I never learned to read music itself, didn't need to because chords are chords, so you don't have to actually read the music. You can test yourself that way too. I tell you this because Within 3 years, I bought a guitar. Now I'm playing the guitar. If I told myself as a 30-something-year-old or even 20-something-year-old that someday I would, in my 50s, pick up an instrument and learn to play it, I probably would have laughed. But now I got very few days go by where I'm not actually playing an instrument and having a ball. You know what it's done? It's made my brain a lot sharper. It's made me appreciate music more. It's actually, I think, probably boosted my confidence in some ways because now I see myself through a different lens. I see myself through the lens of try it. You might be good at it. You don't know. And even if you're not good at it, if you're having fun with it, who cares if you're good at it? You're boosting those neural pathways. You're developing new skills. You're building your self-confidence. But if you're really, really ready to go for it, if you want to really go for it, if you have something in mind, do you? Do you have something in mind that you've been putting off? You think, I'd like to do that, but ... fill in the blank. You have that excuse. If you've got that going on and you're ready to try it, no, not try it, do it. Here we go. This is the ticket. I want you to stop and consider what that is. What is that thing that you've been wanting to do? What is it? What is that thing you've talked yourself out of doing? What is that thing that Grandma Moses would laugh at you in her 70s for going, oh, that's too much, before you gave it a shot? Now, write it down. Write it down. Pause this video, write down that thing, put it in front of you. Put it in front of you. And now ask yourself, what's keeping you from doing it? Write down the first thing that comes to mind, no matter how silly it seems. The first thing that comes to mind. And if there's more than one thing, write multiple things down. Pause this if you need to. This is going to be useful. Now you have in front of you the thing that you want to do and all the reasons you've given yourself that you can't do it. How many of the things that you wrote down are fear-based? They're fear-based excuses. I can't do it because this. Excuses. Most of them are going to be fear-based. And if they are, fear-based excuses are ones you created yourself. Those are the ones we create. We make them up ourselves. We make them up on the fly. They're our way of not doing something because it's too difficult, because we don't have what it takes to just push through. The fear of failure, the whatever. Just push through it. Start small if you have to. Start small if you have to. You know, try something small, test yourself. Like I said, with the ukulele, I chose a story that I was telling myself that was, I'd believed my whole life. I'm not musical. And I thought, well, what if I challenged that? So I challenged it. Turns out I made that crap up. I just made it up. And I believed the lie for decades. Decades, literally decades, I believed this lie that I'm not musical. I'm not a guy who plays instruments. Yeah, okay. Now I play 3. So what lie are you telling yourself? What fear-based lie is there in front of you? Look at that lie and accept that you made that up. And also accept that you can also throw it away. It's yours. You created it. You can do anything you want with it. Wad it up, toss it in the garbage can. Literally, if you want to, write it on paper, read it to yourself, understand that that's some bullshit you made up, crumble it up, and take the shot. You don't need it. It doesn't serve you. If you want to do it, if you want to do something new, if you want to go for it, if you have a dream that you're letting slide away, slip away because of fear, now's the time. You're never too old. Never too old. Laura Ingalls Wilder said something else too. This is a little more brutal, but true. She said, the only stupid one is the one who won't try. Go for your dream. Don't be the stupid one. Don't be the fearful one. Don't be the one who talks his or herself out of doing it. Right now, this is your destiny. This moment is your call to action. If you're listening to this and it's bothering you to that point where you're going, yeah, it might be. Are you going to go for it? Or are you going to click on the next video? Where do you start? Figure out what your fear is. Start pushing on it. Go for it. It's never too late. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching the channel. Please like my channel so you'll get updates. I do these things sometimes infrequently, and you want to make sure that you get updates. Also helps my algorithm so that more people will find the channel. The more people like it, the more they want to promote it here on this channel or on this format. So do that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. And if you haven't checked out the Soul Podcast yet, check out the Soul Podcast. I think you'll like it. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next video.